welcome to this week's What the Fuck Forecast. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling some cards. For those who are new, I created this forecast to give you information about the current what the fuck energies, the hidden energy behind it, the lesson or the purpose, and then how you can turn that what the fuck energy into a blessing. And for those who don't know me, my name is Eliza Rose, also known as the Pleiadian Star Healer. So, before we begin, I want to just say that if you see that I don't have really daily guidances on the YouTube, I'm probably going to just keep focusing on the what the fuck forecast on the channel for now, until like time starts to loosen up a bit since winter's coming, and then I'll see like what more I can add there. All right, so let's start. So what is current energy for the collective? And for those who know me, I'm still using the same decks, the Sagittarius and the Sagittarius apart. Both of my favorites. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so we have this. Hidden energy behind it. Okay. Lesson, make the purpose. Okay, and then. Okay, alright. So, the current what the fuck energy, we have reaching out, and then we have the base chakra. So when I saw this, I feel like there's a lot of like isolation, introvertedness, just wanting to be alone, or feeling like really, really alone, or very afraid, especially with things that are happening now, these, this year, right? It's definitely, 2020 is definitely a what the fuck year, and then you have the base. This is where fear stems from, insecurity, feeling alone, abandoned, rejection. So for some of you, you may be going through like old wounds, feeling of loss, of resentment, maybe, fear, uncertainty, disappointment, disillusion, abandonment issues, rejection, things like that. Because you see how she's there, and she's just like sitting there and just looking to the side and feeling sort of like alone, and then we have here like reach out. So if you're really feeling like depressed and you notice that it's been more like very long time, you might want to reach out to like counseling, therapy. For those who know me, I feel like we should normalize therapy, seeking out some type of emotional and mental assistance, or reaching out to family, a friend that you feel like you can really count on and really vent, someone who could really hold space for you. Okay, so like don't be afraid to do those things, because we all, with society, we feel like we have to do everything alone, especially if you've faced a lot of disappointments. You feel like you have to do everything alone. So don't be afraid to reach out to those who can really, really genuinely help you. Okay, so what is the hidden energy behind that, right? So we have flow, and then we have another chakra card, the sacral. I felt like when I saw this, I felt like release, and for me it makes sense because like the flow, like going with the flow. The hidden energy behind everything is learning to go with the flow of things, because when things, especially when there's fear attached or uncertainty, we become more controlling, that we want to control the events and every step that we take, which is good to have some type of goal, of course, but we can't control everything that happens, because there's some things that is just out of our control, and we have to learn that when there's something that we can't control, we have to go with the flow, and we have to release that kind of like expectation. By doing that, by releasing that expectation, just going with the flow, it releases like depression, sadness, anxiety, you know, because the sacral is also a place where it holds a lot of the emotions, you know, like the big three from the root to the solar usually holds, well, and the heart chakra, of course, they hold a lot of the emotions, you know. Sometimes people can't go past the heart. So, you know, I feel like this is just a release, like release the expectation, release of how you think should be, and just go with the flow, you know. And I feel like with the flow, like as you go with the flow, you'll be carried in the direction that you need to. Because, you know, for me, this is like the compass, you know, and he's just testing the water and seeing where the current is going, you see, at least for me. You know, he's like, where is this current going? And he's feeling it. You know, he has his eyes closed and he's trying to absorb like the true basis of it. You know, he's at peace and he's trying to like be in tuned with that energy. You know, if you look in the back, you also have the color orange, you know, so we have double orange here, you know. So he's like going with the flow, like trying to tune into those kind of emotions and those feelings and just saying, you know, everything is okay. You know, see how he's like, it's almost like it's like saying, it's a temporary feeling, everything's gonna be okay. Like just tuning into the flow of the water and the direction that you want to go to, right? So then what is the purpose? Yeah, simply love, rest, and rejuvenation. Now for me, I feel like this simply love, the first thing I heard was learn to enjoy and love your journey, even with its ups and downs, the things that work in your favor, the things that don't work in your favor. Just enjoy the process and the journey. At least do your best, you know, because I know it's easier said than done, you know. And to remember, and the whole purpose also is to learn when to rest and rejuvenate, when to quit. I'm like that. You know, it's hard for me to like know when to take a break, you know. So just something we have to learn to just say, you know what, I'm not gonna do that right now, you know, I'll come back to it. You know, just learn to take a rest. Like resting doesn't always mean laziness or like you're unmotivated, you know, because like they say, if you're resting but you're shaming yourself for resting, then you're not really resting. Maybe your physical body is, but your mental and your emotions, they're not at rest. So don't shame yourself for wanting to take a break. You're not really missing out on anything, because everything happens in its own divine timing and everything happens the way it's supposed to. You know, you're gonna get to your destiny, whether fast, slow, you know, everything has its own pace, you know. So it's trying to teach you to slow down, because when you don't slow down, you know, you have all these things happening. You know, you start messing up your chakras and everything gets kind of like out of balance, you know. You get like anxiety. So how can you change this what the fuck energy, right, into like something that's gonna work for you? So then you have like the daydreams and decisions, and you have mental conflict. So for me, I feel like the mental conflict, it can be for me like being indecisive, you know, when you're not sure what to do. You know, if you see also the colors here, you have red and like sort of like an orange color, you know, fear, you know, like the base, see, again, fear, insecurity, you know, the red. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, decisions. What am I going to do? You know, you start to obsessively, you know, mental, like it gets really, really, you know, crazy up in your head, right? So, you know, it's basically just say envision. Daydream for me is like envision. Vision where you want to go, but at the same time not being so fixated on it and so controlling, but to go with the flow of it. You know, to touch the water and go, you know, everything is going the way it's supposed to. You know, to be compassionate with yourself, to be understanding with yourself, to have like that kind of self-love towards yourself, you know, and saying, you know, it's okay to take a rest, you know, or even make a decision in the sense of like, you know what, I'm going to take a week off, or I'm going to take 2 weeks off, you know, those kind of things, you know, make a decision, and decide, envision, you know, what you want for yourself. And so you may have to reach out to someone, And, you know, because sometimes we need like that confirmation, you know, or I don't know, some type of emotional and mental support. Everybody needs that. Everybody in this world needs support, you know. So you may need to reach out to someone to help you, give you like that shoulder to cry on, like that kind of holding space, as I said before. Okay. I feel like I have to choose 2 more cards, and it's so weird because like usually I don't, but I'm gonna do that. Okay. You see why it's always good to follow your intuition. Look, we have healing. Okay. And then we have choose wisely. Again, another decision card, a very mental card. Okay, and just breaking free of the things that hold you stagnant, like the insecurity and anxiety, you know, and just going with the flow, letting in that light, you know what I'm saying? And then you have like, you know, choose wisely again, you know, like choose wisely in the sense of like what is good for your highest self. You know, how can you honor yourself, your own self-love? You know, don't try to overcomplicate it, like, because that's how indecisiveness begins, because we start to overthink and we get obsessive and it becomes mental conflict, you know. Just decide what is best for you. Well, listen to yourself, as he is doing right here, as he's doing. Listen to yourself. What do you want? You know, do you really want that break? Take it. You know, a week, 2 weeks. Listen to yourself. Your own soul is telling you, because when you're feeling, you know, fear, insecurity, and all this kind of chaos happening in your body, it's because your soul is trying to talk to you, it's trying to communicate with you, but you're not listening because you're just so fixated, you're trying to hold on to things, you know. So it's just like, let the flow happen, okay? So, and remember, as I always say, whatever comes, whatever goes, they're both in your favor. So try not to be so controlling. Try not to hold on to the outcome or what you think is going to be the ending result. Okay, so just go with the flow. Everything is going to work out eventually. You know, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it happens quickly. You know, the whole thing is just going with it and trying not to go against water, because have you ever went against water? Okay. It's hard and you get exhausted, you know, you get burnt out, and that's why rest and rejuvenation, you know, don't go against water. See, even this has water in it, you know, so just go with it, you know. And water is the emotions too, it's connected with the consciousness, you know, the emotions. So just go with it, release. I feel like definitely I keep hearing release. Just release what no longer serves you. If you're going through old wounds right now, just release it. I know it's easier said than done, right? I know, but we're all here to try, right? Give it our best shot, make the biggest effort, right? So just release. Just release, okay? Release what doesn't serve you, the people who are toxic, people who give you like that sense of stagnation. Just release for your highest good. Think of yourself. What do you want? You know, like again, heal. He's breaking the chains. He's just like, I'm free now. You know, I'm free. I'm breaking that, you know. So just breathe it out. Breathe through your problems. Breathe through your emotions. When you're feeling certain emotions, breathe through them. Say, you know, I'm releasing because it's good for me. You know, it's okay to cry because I'm releasing. It's just a temporary emotion. And just breathe through it. Breathe through it. Allow your body to process physically, emotionally, mentally. Allow it to process, you know, because when we go, oh, I don't want to cry, I'm going to hold it. That's where it gets like, you know, your whole body starts to feel it. You get body aches, you know, depression. Just breathe through it. All right. So that is your What the Fuck forecast. I hope it resonated. If it did, leave a comment below. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's What the Fuck forecast. And I will leave my Instagram and Facebook name, I guess, in the bottom of the description box. Right? So you have a wonderful weekend and holiday weekend too. And I will see you guys next week. Remember, my name is Pleiadian Star Healer. Eliza Rose. Bye.